All right, guys, welcome back to this episode of This Dude Started Something. Our guest today is one of our hometown heroes and a legit movie director. He's currently attending film school, but he's already written, directed, and produced multiple films on his own.
He's my friend, and thanks to him, I have my own IMDb profile. Jake is a movie fiend. He watches them, reviews them, and is planning to make them. If you need a good flick to watch, Jake is your guy, and I'm excited to talk about all that today. I have no idea where this conversation will go, but thanks for being here, Jake.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. I'm glad to be on.
Okay, so to start, I know you've always been, ever since I've known you, you've been really into like movies. I met you my sophomore year of high school. I think you were, or maybe you were a
No,
sophomore.
I,
Maybe I was
I
a
was I was
senior.
sophomore, you were a junior, or no, you were a
Oh,
senior, right? Yeah,
yeah. No, I think
yeah,
so.
yeah, yeah.
And
Because you're 2 years older than me. Yeah.
we had the same class together. It was actually a film class. I forgot what it's called. It was like broadcasting, I
Broadcast.
think.
Yep.
But
Yep.
was it? It wasn't that class where you first started to like get into it, right? It was you were always kind of into like films.
Yeah. No, it was like because they had like the one in middle school that was like the intro one, and
Hmm.
I kind of took that and I was like, this is pretty fun, and I kind of like taught
Yeah.
myself everything in that in that class. Like they were just like, oh, he like my teacher was just like he like knows a little bit more than just like the basic stuff. And I took
Yeah.
Darnell's class, which the
Hmm.
first year class is kind of rough actually, but throughout that,
Yeah.
and then we also had like COVID, and so like I like I've made like maybe like two little short films just here at home with my brother or something like that, and so it's just a lot of time to just like I'm bored. Let's do this or something like that.
Hmm.
And then once I got to like the second half of freshman year, and then sophomore year is whenever I took broadcast and video tech, and video
Yeah.
tech is just constantly making short films, stuff like that. So
Yeah. So really, it's like the classes that, like the middle school classes that kind of got you into it. Were you
and
making those like iMovie like trailers when you were
oh
little?
yeah, oh no, for sure. That's exactly what it was. And that's how like yeah, like I find I'll like meet people at like college or something and like talk about how they got into it. And like I have heard a lot of people say like, oh yeah, no, like I just made these dumb little movies with my brother or cousins or friends, whatever. But then
Yeah.
like some of them don't have that. And I'm like, that's crazy. Like that's such like
That's like a staple.
a staple of it. Like everyone did that, like not
Dude,
just
for
like film
Yeah.
sure.
people.
Oliver
Yeah.
and I produced a couple
Yeah,
of our
dude.
own
We
films.
yeah, we were making those all the time.
We had a series that came out called Boyden, and it was a horror series. And like, I would just like, you would just film me all over with my teeth like this, and I'd pop out of nowhere.
Dude, yeah, we used to think that that was like the funniest thing. And it,
Dude,
it, it was. It was.
we had one that was filmed at like a hotel resort, dude. It would have gotten you would have reviewed it like with 5 stars, Jake, dude. It was crazy, man. Um, dude, well that's cool, dude. At what age were you when you made your first film? Then I mean, like first like legit, not short film.
Uh, well, because like I would say probably like at the end of sophomore year, I think
Hmm.
I made a really cool music video, and
Yeah,
that was the first one where I was like, "Okay, this might be more than just like a class." Like I remember it was a fun. I actually remember. I think it's still up on my YouTube, but it's to the song of Mac DeMarco's "Chamber of Reflection." It's like classic
yeah.
song, you know. But we made it, and like it's not even anything that crazy. But there was a like so many like little things in there that I'm like this is like where I think I can do it. And then the junior year, I also did. I mainly just did stuff with classes that year, and then
Hmm.
senior year is whenever I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just make a feature film. So I made the 45-minute horror film written, which you scored, did the music for and everything.
Yeah, it was a great
Yeah. Which
experience, dude.
oh yeah.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah.
I haven't
Um,
seen that one. Can you like tell me and like our audience like a little bit like what went into written and kind of like what's it about?
Yeah. So written is just like it's just like a teen slasher movie. Like there's a killer out on the loose. There's teenagers being stupid. And like it's for what it is and like the fact it was my first like big film, I think it holds up and I'm like very proud of it. I think there's a lot of things if I were to remake it, I would have done differently. But I think for what it was, I actually think it's one of my I mean, we premiered it in a theater, and it was just so cool to just see
Dude, it was
everyone, like
sick.
that was
Yeah.
yeah, that was awesome. I remember that dude that whenever the theater wouldn't play and we spent all
Oh,
the money oh, me and you were like
dude.
I remember you came upstairs with me, and we were like, "What is going on?" And my parents are, like, stressed out.
Oh, dude.
they're like, "We paid to rent this place out, like, there's 100 people here." Like,
Dude,
what
everybody was waiting, bro. Dude, all of it was crazy. Like
Wait, so did
I
it
go up
finally
there.
work?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
finally, but it kinda looked bad on the screen, and because they didn't tell me, like, the what file I needed to play on a movie projector. You'd think if we rent out a theater, they would explain that to us, but I guess
Mhm.
they didn't, so
Oh man, yeah, it was crazy. But we got to go up
yeah,
in like the back rooms of the theater and
Yeah,
like up to the
yeah.
yeah,
projector. And I get up there
yeah.
and like Jake's like sweating, like, dude, what do we do? And then Jake and my old film teacher was up there and she goes, did you try shut it off and turn it back on again?
No, I know. No, I know. And
It worked, bro.
I was literally about to, like I was, like, about to be like I was about to just, like, walk out. I'm like, There's no way you just said like, that's not gonna work." And I did it, and somehow it worked, bro. MacBooks or
Always works.
something
It's
something,
crazy.
I don't
Yeah.
know. It was yeah. But yeah, that was crazy. That was a lot, but,
Mhm.
um
So
Turned out though.
did it fit the horror film stereotypes? Like, did they make stupid decisions?
Oh, yeah, no, like, I actually had, like in the script, I think I labeled the one there's, like, 2 groups of kids, and I think I labeled the one group, like, the douche group, because they were just all
Mhm.
supposed to be just, like, idiots. Like, every single
Mhm.
one of them was not supposed to be, like, redeeming at all, like, just constantly, "Oh, Imma just walk around on my own." Like, that was ki I because like, obviously that happens, but, like, I wanted it to be a little self-aware to, like, "Oh, no, this whole group is just stupid." It's gonna be, like, kind of funny too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, dude. It
That's
was
good.
intense, man. For your first film, dude, like did you get anybody critiquing you on anything? Like, I know you released it on YouTube. Did you have any like hate comments?
I didn't have any hate actually, so, do you know what Letterboxd is?
No, what is
No.
it?
It's like movie review website, but it's like
Uh-huh.
Instagram, but for movie reviews. It's the
Yeah.
biggest, like, social media for, like, people who watch movies, like, by far,
Mhm.
and I have both my films on there just like on IMDb. The written actually has, like, I think 120 people have, like, logged it on there and say they've watched it, and, like, half of them maybe have given 'em a rating, and half of that are just, like, my friends. But then, like, there's a
Mhm.
random half to where it's, like, just random people who have somehow found it, and, like, some of them a lot of them are just like, "You know what? Hell yeah, this guy was in high school, he made a movie, like, wasn't the greatest thing ever, but, like, I was, like, genuinely I had some entertainment." And then there's, like, some guy who's, like, never leaves his room, and he's, like, writes an essay on, like, how it's just awful. I'm like, "Dude, thanks for taking the time to watch it and think
Dude,
about
yeah.
it," but yeah, like,
Yeah, that means more
I
than
don't
a
really
million.
care because I just think it's funny. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure, dude. I mean, yeah, it's not like you weren't trying to get this movie out on like what's a big like you weren't trying to win an Oscar or whatever.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Not that
and it
it's
was
not
that
Oscar worthy. I'm
yeah.
just saying like
Hey, that score though that you did was actually that was actually insane. I think that actually elevated the movie like a ridiculous amount. The original music you made for it, that was so good.
dude, thanks, man. It was crazy. I mean, like, it was the first time I'd ever done that, so I was really just like spitballing, dude. I was like,
Yeah,
I had no idea how to do this, but
Yeah.
you
Dude,
know,
that's
so
sick.
I remember I was like watching the scenes like over and over again, like lining up the music, and it was
yeah,
really cool to see it come together in the theaters too. So,
yeah,
I mean, it was great, man. And then your second movie. So right now you have two movies out, plus you have like the you have Grady's music
yeah,
video.
yeah.
Are those your three biggest projects?
Yeah, no, for sure. Those are definitely my biggest. I think because this last year at school, I was kind of more like doing like videography stuff for like
Mm,
I did videos and like short form content for like a band and stuff like that. So I have my next one planned out. I'm planning to shoot it this next school year. But yeah, so I think the first out of those I made was Grady's, which I had actually listened to his music like a lot before I
hmm.
even like reached out to him because I followed him on social media, everything. And I remember hearing a snippet of his song, like, "This is actually really good," or something,
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's
And
talented,
then
bro. He's good.
oh yeah. And then I reached out and I was like, "Hey, like I know you haven't made music in a while, but if you ever get back into it, like let me know. We should make a video." And then he reached out. He's like, "I'm actually like making an album right now." And it was like a perfect timing thing. And so
Hmm.
then we got like I had kind of known him. Like we grew up and kind of played baseball together, but like very loosely. Like I knew him, and if I saw him, I would be like, "Oh yeah, that's Grady." But like I never
Hmm.
actually talked to him. But like I think we filmed it's like a 5-minute video. It's not a short music video. I think we filmed it in maybe 2 days, and I edited it in, like, less than a week, and, like, boom, it was out there,
Wow.
and it's honestly, that's been my most successful because I'm able to submit that to, like, any festival. With the other 2, I kept for YouTube, I put all the copyright music in it because
Right.
it's whatever I wanna make it, so stuff like
Hmm.
that.
That's fair.
Um. So editing, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know. I just want to ask you about this. I guess what's like the longest part, or like the most? What's the hardest part about making a movie? I guess is it the
I
editing?
think I think the editing, especially with this last one, that's really what like because I if I'm making a short video, I can edit really quick. But with this last one, it took me a year to make it, like in general, like writing, filming, and editing. But like I
Yeah.
think half of that time was just editing. Like so
Wow.
it was a lot. And especially because like audio I'll tell you audio is like the hardest thing to master. Like I am not even like
Mm.
close to amazing at it. I think I'm good enough to where like you don't really notice that it's bad, but I could still get a lot better. But editing is very tedious, but the finished product of it all is just like it's so worth it. So
Yeah, definitely. Do you do you feel like you almost kind of like identify? You said it took like a whole year out of your life to make this film. Do you feel like with every film, I know you've only had like a few, which is still very impressive, but do you feel like you identify with that film as that year goes on? You're kind of like it almost becomes a part of you in a way.
oh, this last one was insane on how closely it like I was writing about the future, like because I made a movie about graduating high school while I was
Yeah.
graduating high school, right? So I'm writing it while I'm still in high school. It literally I had like maybe like 4 classes my senior year spring, and like or 4 classes in Miss Durnell's classroom. So I'm just like chilling in there, and I'm like I'm gonna just write a script. So I just started writing. I think it was ended up being like
Mhm.
70 pages, and uh, yeah, and so I'm writing about, like, how I think, like, people act, like, this summer and all this and all my friends and all that, and, yeah, but then, like, as we're filming throughout the summer and then especially through editing, it was just, like, I'm editing through these scenes that I wrote about that then I remember I'm like, "This happened to me," like, after that. Like, it was weird. It was really weird,
Nice.
but yeah, it was actually, like I don't think it could have been any better. I think it, like, perfectly, like, a time capsule of, like, how I was at that time. I think it was
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah.
So like you were writing about, I see what you're saying. When you were writing it, wrote 70 pages. A lot of it was about like what you were about to experience, like your graduation,
Yeah.
all that. Dude, that's actually crazy, man. And then you're editing it, you're like seeing it happening.
Yeah.
Like you wrote about it back then, but now it's like you're editing it and it
Yeah.
literally, I don't know. That's pretty crazy, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
definitely see how it becomes a part of you because I was looking at the IMDb for the latest movie, and so many people were involved. So like so many people
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
that like this is you, like this is like what you do. Like how
Yeah.
many people were in the last one? It had to be like over 50.
Well, I think including the party scene I think the party scene alone, we had, like I think we had 50 people there,
Yeah.
like, for sure. Other I would say speaking roles, there's probably 20 or so. Um, so I'd probably say, like, 70 in total, but that's not even like,
Wow.
I mean, there are people behind a lot of the people behind the scenes were just I threw them in the background of a scene somewhere, so they're technically, like, in the cast, but, like, they, like, did so much more behind the scenes that, like, I just was like, "Hey, just, like, run back there real quick, I'll get you in the background or something."
Yeah.
But, no, like, it was I think the party scene alone was just, like it's like I will say this is just random, but I premiered it at school and, like or at Missouri State, right? And,
Yeah.
like, I think, like, more than half the crowd is, most of my fraternity members, and they loved your character so much, and they loved the whole party sequence. They were like, they just thought it was the funniest thing, and like
Yeah.
everyone there did too. And which is, I am going on a crazy long tangent here, but I just like to talk. So,
No, you're good, dude.
Yeah.
but I don't know. I feel like that scene, a lot of the humor in it was like very subjective to like if you knew the people. But then as what I'm watching like other people react to like you and like Carson just being like stupid on screen
Yeah,
and then like actually finding it hilarious. I'm like, obviously, if you knew you or Carson or whoever else was supposed to be funny in that moment, it was gonna be funny.
right.
But they were like dying laughing. Like, yeah,
Yeah, it's a
it
good point.
was,
It's like I feel like sometimes like it's hard to like know if an audience is actually gonna react like to the humor
Yeah.
yeah,
because they don't
yeah.
know that they don't actually know them, dude. But that's so funny, bro. It was a lit party, man. They
Dude,
probably
I'm
relate
hyped
to
to
it.
watch that.
You gotta watch it, dude. It's a really good movie, bro. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie. It's actually really good. Um, dude, yeah, yeah. But they probably relate to that the most. Were you gonna say something, Oliver?
Yeah, I said, didn't you like rent a house for that or something?
No, it was literally just Grady's house, actually.
Yeah,
Oh, I thought
He
you
lives
said
at
okay.
he lives at Lake Winnebago, and I texted a few of my friends that have like bigger houses, and he was the one that was like, yeah, I don't care. So, but again, that what I was gonna get to before I went on the tangent, I was just like, that scene was just like, it showed how much people like, even if they barely knew me, they were just willing to be like, yeah, I'll come just be in a movie for a little bit. Like, why not? Like,
yeah,
this is cool.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, dude. I think majority of everybody is like this guy he's doing something cool, you know what I mean? It's definitely
yeah,
something out of the box. Like a lot of
yeah.
people, you never know, you don't know where you're gonna end up, you know what I mean? And
Mhm.
I do want to talk about like your future goals, like where you see yourself. But the one thing I do like about the film degree and route that you're going is like you really don't know where you're gonna go, whereas like a business degree, I mean, you have some leeway. Or like, and I'm not trying to diss these
Yeah,
things, you know what I
yeah,
mean?
Well,
Or like
well,
a medical.
like say like accounting, right? You know what you're
Right.
doing for the rest of your yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Some people like that. They like security. They're
Well,
like,
I guess, but with film, you know what you're doing with the rest of your life too. But it
yeah,
could,
but it's like you don't know what movie you're gonna make.
right,
yeah,
right.
You know
There's
what I
the
mean?
yeah.
creative aspect, yeah.
Exactly, dude. Do you have any movies that like are you always spewing up new ideas, or is there like a few right now that you have in the chamber that are just gonna be bangers? Or like what is it
Um,
looking like?
I would say a lot of my ideas, I'm just very like spontaneous whenever it comes to it. Like, I'm not the type of person to like I make myself like give myself like a timeline, but like the script I have
Mm,
that I'm gonna film and that whenever I get back to school, it was my final for beginning screenwriting, but like I finished the final like halfway through the class because I had this story in my mind and I was just like, I want to get this out. And the final had to be like 20 pages or something, which was like way longer than any of the other assignments. And I was like, I
uh-huh.
want to get this out. I'm just gonna write this right now and kind of tweak it until I have to submit my final. And so that's what that is. And then as far as like I think with cinematography, it actually that is like the biggest thing to where it's like I don't a lot of cinematographers or people go out, they like to like plan and have a shot list and everything. And I've even like worked with people this last year or something to where like they don't like that like I feel like I like kind of worry them whenever I'm like describing it because I'm like, just let me like get there and I'll like see it and I'll know what I'm doing. And they're like, what?
Yeah.
Like what? And I'm like, just trust me, it'll work. Like I know what I'm doing, I know what I need to get and stuff like that. And so it's just it's just random like bursts of like creativity and stuff like that.
Hmm.
It's yeah.
Okay.
Well, I have some advice if you want to, well, advice slash idea. If you want to get into like commercials, you can make some like really solid money, especially like doing your own. Like we're partnered up with like True Classic, like just as like an affiliate, and they like sell shirts, right? So say you
Mhm.
directed just with your friends, uh, crazy, funny, true classics little short film or like commercial of like why you need this shirt or something, and then you just put like your code at the back of like or like at the end of it, you could probably make like a ton of money or just like making creative commercials for brands. Because personally, I think commercials are horrible nowadays. Like if I'm
Yeah.
watching
Yeah.
Peacock or something and like a commercial comes on, like I'm like, what is this? Like who came up with this? You know?
Uh-huh, dude.
I think you
Yeah.
would kill at that. Like, and plus I think it'd be fun too, like trying to figure out how to sell a product like in like a
Yeah,
fun way.
yeah, yeah. That's honestly that's what I've really had to learn how to do this year whenever I worked with the band is like I kind of had to make their like just their advertisement. And it was like, I mean, it's much more different now with like TikTok and Instagram and like you'll have like people with how talented people are making like edits and everything.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
so like you try and incorporate more of like that into it instead of like a traditional commercial. But like it was definitely it was learning. Like I had to like grab their attention immediately. And like even though it's 30-second little video, like I needed something distinct at the beginning, middle, and end that like held their
Mhm.
attention for this brief amount of time because that's because I mean they got a show this weekend. We want people there. Like I need to make this video fire. So yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's cool.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I feel like you'd be great at that, dude, and it'd be fun. Like, it'd be more fast paced, you know? Because
Mhm.
sometimes I feel like when you're making a movie, do you ever? I mean, I don't know. I feel like I would get almost like a little bit, not necessarily tired of it, but it's like sometimes it'd be nice to have a couple commercials on the side to get that like
Hmm.
that hit of
Yeah.
like a little bit of
Yeah.
success. Like,
Yeah,
oh, I put
yeah,
this
Yeah.
that's
out.
so true.
You know what I mean? I got a couple segments that I want to jump into.
Wait, can I ask one more question that kind of goes along with this?
For sure, yeah. Go ahead.
Does Missouri State have like an acting program or like
Yeah, that's the acting school at Missouri State's actually what they're known for. They're actually
okay.
like
Yeah.
So you
they're
can pull
acting.
from that for like
Oh,
free, for sure.
I'm friends with so many of the actors there. The band I shoot video for, all of them are in the acting program there.
Okay, cool.
And they're all like upperclassmen, and so they know so many. So all the people at their shows would be like other musical theater or just acting majors in general. And so like the acting there is very good. I already have my next film, like my it's just a short film. I already have it cast and everything. Just my friends that I've met in the acting program that are there. Um, yeah, so that's great resources there.
I've heard great things about the film school there, dude. That's pretty dope. We got a little segment here. This is gonna be um your takes. It's gonna be some quick fire stuff.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
a couple questions. Um, what do you think most overrated movie? What do you think it is?
Um, Come back to that one. That one because I know I know I'm gonna have a hot take for that, and I want to make it good.
All right, all right, all right. One film every teenager should watch.
I would say I'm looking at it on my wall right now. Dazed and Confused.
Oh, dude,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, it's just like it's it's one of the it didn't inspire my movie, but it definitely like it's just a graduating high school. What's life gonna be like now kind of movie, and it's just I think it's amazing. It's just to hang out in the 70s and have fun kind of movie. Well, yeah, it's phenomenal.
Dude, and it's one of I mean, it's got one of the greatest actors of all time, his debut. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah,
Matthew
yeah,
McConaughey. And it's funny you
yeah.
said that, dude, because literally right before I literally hit the all right before.
Yeah, no, the movie's so good. It's so good. I haven't seen it in a minute, but it's awesome.
I've
Dude,
never
yeah.
seen it, so I'll have to watch that one.
Dude, and Oliver, you're a big movie guy. You watch
I am a
like
big movie guy.
you've
Yeah.
seen every movie. Every time we're scrolling on Netflix, like, yo, what should we watch, dude? You've seen every single thing, bro.
Yeah.
Seen
That's
it.
shocking.
Okay, what director would you shadow for a month, Jake?
Just like pick a favorite or something like that.
Yeah, like what director would do you think you could learn a lot from, and like which one would you want to be on set with for like a movie?
I think I have two, but I think my favorite director is Damien Chazelle, who made Whiplash, La La Land, Babylon, First
Mm,
Man. And I think just being on set with him, especially with like his first film Whiplash, like his first studio film Whiplash, he made it for like $3 million, and it's like one of the most perfect movies I've ever seen. And I'm like, the technical ability is something that I feel like I could still learn a lot from, and with how like perfect everything in that movie is, I think it would just be like fascinating, just like watch and see what happens.
mm.
So
Yeah, that's a good take, dude.
Yeah, three
Um,
million's not that much for a budget. I
Yeah,
was
and it got
telling
nominated for
like
Best Picture. Like that's crazy.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Yeah, Oliver, you were saying what Napoleon Dynamite or something
yeah,
was made for
yeah.
like 50
Napoleon
grand.
Dynamite. Yeah, it was like so low budget, and they did
Yeah,
very
yeah.
well. Yeah,
What ended up being the profit off that? Like,
like
Oh,
150 million. Like it was crazy.
oh yeah, yeah. It was nuts.
that's
And they're still
insane.
selling it. Like they continue to sell it to like, Hulu and Netflix and all these different, you know.
Yeah, dude. How like and that makes me think, I mean, it's really not all about the money. Like, Jake, what's your opinion on how do you make a good movie? Like what aspects do you need from it? Is it I mean, maybe it's not all about like the visual effects and stuff. What do you
No,
think's like
abs. Well,
yeah.
if anything, like the high school classes or just even making films as like an amateur filmmaker has taught me, it's like you need to have like good story, good character, good just passion behind it. Like you could give the most expensive camera to some guy who just like kind of he's like, I kind of want to make movies, whatever. I'm like, like there's like
Mhm.
people who like do it for a living but aren't as like passionate about it. And I feel like you can
Mhm.
definitely tell, especially with a like a studio movie, like with something like Marvel or something like that, you can tell whenever they'll have a well-known acclaimed director who's like this is like his passion, or you can tell whenever it's just like the Disney and Marvel was just like, hey, we need to make this movie, just make it happen. Like you can definitely tell
Yeah.
the difference. So I think it's like equipment and all that is cool and it can make a movie better, but it can only make it so good.
Yeah.
Well, because it also goes like the other way around. Like, do you remember the movie with Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell that came out on like Apple Plus or whatever it is? Um,
Man.
I
like
think I
Was
know
it
you're
like
recent?
during Christmas time, and it flopped so hard. Like they spent a
yeah,
ton. They spent like
yeah,
a ton of money on it, and like
yeah,
everyone hated it.
yeah.
Wow. Do you think a lot of that has to do with like the Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds are both great actors, but
Yeah.
like maybe they casted them in the wrong role? Like how
Or
do
the
you
storyline from the start was just shit.
True, it
I
could
think
be a
that's
Yeah.
what
mix
it
of things.
was. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I never saw it.
It was like a
But
musical. Like they were both singing. It was really bad.
I know you're talking about. I can't think of the name though. I didn't see it, but I heard it wasn't very
Yeah.
good.
And
Yeah.
proof
hmm,
that neither of us can think of the name is,
yeah.
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Um, how do you pick the right character? Like, how do you pick the right actor for a role, though? Like, are you? I guess they have. I know they have different. They have casting directors. Is that something that I know you've had to do with your own movies a little bit? But are you gonna be doing that in the future, or where do you see yourself? Like, what roles?
I I'm at the point right now to where like I kind of just want to do as much on my own project as I can because like I know it's only going to be like that for so long. Once you start working in an actual like industry field, obviously you're not going to be directing, editing, cinematography, casting, all this. But like while I'm
Yeah.
just making my own stuff and I'm writing a character, I'll have an actor in mind or someone that I want to audition for it, like in mind and ready to go. As I'm thinking about making it. That's kind of how I work. Especially with
Yeah.
just how many people I've met this last year. I think like I had a lot of options in my head of just like who I wanted to be in my next film. And so yeah, that's kind of how it goes for me.
Do you think sometimes casting directors base, or no, not casting directors, I guess, the writers, do you think sometimes the writers base like their character off somebody they already know?
Oh, for sure. No, I I
Yeah.
I do it all the time too.
Hmm.
I think even like with this last one, whenever I figured out who was playing who, I would even like go in and like add stuff, knowing I knew who was gonna play them and how
Hmm.
they could like deliver certain lines. I remember one thing is like two girls that are just like in a part of a friend group, like in the third part with Scarlett's character, and like they probably each have like 5 lines. Not they're just kind of there to just move Scarlett along.
Hmm.
But like one of them had like a kind of snarky line that she had to say, and the other one didn't. And I just threw their names on a spreadsheet saying they're playing this character. As I'm reading over, I'm trying to imagine the one girl I know who's playing the one that's supposed to read the snarky line, saying the snarky line, and I'm like I cannot imagine her saying this, so I'm gonna switch you guys just because of this like one line where like she yells at someone because I don't see the other. person ever doing that. I don't know.
Yeah. Slap your ex-girlfriend in there instead.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Dude, yeah,
like,
that's funny.
yeah, like on that note, if you were gonna make a movie about you or a movie with you, who would you pick to play Jake? Like
That's
anyone,
a
no budget.
oh my God, that is a crazy question actually.
Yeah, like in the biopic, in the Jake biopic or whatever, how does it say?
I guess I gotta think of like a young actor just because I'm like, we don't know where I'm gonna go yet. So
Right.
Yeah,
as far as a young actor, this is random, but one time I was watching, 10 Things I Hate About You, right?
yeah,
Yeah, no, I remember I was watching it and Joseph Gordon-Levitt in that movie, and people were like, so one of my friends was like, kind of looks like Jake with shorter hair. And I was like, hell yeah, man. Like I love Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I don't know if I've ever actually seen him in like a leading role, but he's always like a good like side character. But
Yeah.
I feel like he could pull off just like,
oh,
I don't know. Yeah, I feel like I'm
Well,
just picking someone that I've been told I look like. I don't really know as far as
well,
acting goes.
he was the lead in Snowden, and that was a really good movie.
Hmm. Yeah,
But he had more of like a quiet role. Like he was like
yeah.
a quiet guy. Yeah.
But
dude,
he's been
yeah,
in like a lot, and I've seen him play a bunch of different types of people.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not as much of a quiet guy, but I have seen him play like the much more like just outgoing
It
type
says
of
he's in the
person.
Dark Knight, dude. I don't know who he is in that.
Yeah, no, he's like the police guy who like
Oh my God, he is. Yeah.
yeah, and he's also in Inception. I know he's in Inception quite a bit.
Dang. Okay.
wow, dude, I could totally see him playing you though. Honestly, that'd be a pretty sick
I've
movie.
not thought about that one that question at all. Actually, out of all the questions I get asked, that's probably the first time that anybody's asked me that. Like, who'd
Let's
play you in a
go.
movie? Not gonna lie.
Yeah, wow, dude. Maybe someday, man, you'll be directing your own biopic.
That I think that'd be a little too on the nose personally, but someone
Yeah,
else
true.
could
The
do
whole
that.
time, Jake's character is just like,
Just like
I'm freaking
glazing
huge,
myself,
dude.
just like
Yeah,
yeah, like
you have all the
this is
girls
the
behind
great.
you, bro.
It's like he never did a single thing wrong. Like
Yeah, dude. Every movie blows up, dude. Like,
Yeah. That'd be a tough right to do that to yourself.
dude, that's funny, man. Yeah, that was a great question.
What's your favorite movie?
Oh yeah.
uh
Because we asked you what the most overrated one
yeah.
was, which we still
Uh
need to get back to.
Oh yeah, we got to go back
yeah,
to that.
I know. Whiplash, Interstellar, and La La Land are at like a three-way tie for my favorite,
Okay.
and
Oh dang.
I can't pick between any of them. I watch one of them and I'm like, yeah, this is my favorite. Then I'll watch another. And I like them all for different reasons. Interstellar is just like gorgeous.
Yeah.
Whiplash is just like so like inspirational again with how low budget it was and how amazing it was and all that. And La La Land is just La La Land. I don't know. Like they're all just amazing. I don't know.
Yeah. Dude, yeah, I Interstellar is definitely up there for me as well.
I honestly didn't like Interstellar at all, but
That's
What?
crazy.
Dude, it's
That's
because you got to
crazy.
watch it. Like, were you confused or something? Or like,
no, I understood it, but it's like I just don't understand the hype.
Why? Dude,
dude,
just
the
listen
music
to
is
the music. The
insane.
music, like yes, like
It's the music that like that's why I feel like it. Like I don't know.
Dude, didn't Hans Zimmer did that, right?
oh yeah, he's done like most of the Nolan movie. He's
Dude,
insane.
okay, he's
He's
he's awesome.
insane.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
nuts, bro.
I
He's
was
nuts.
listening to him in the gym today, bro. I was hitting the rows, like the rowing machine, and I
Hmm.
was listening to Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Dude,
It was
yeah.
so far.
Dude, I want to go to like a. I just thought of this, like going to it like a huge party or like a rager where they play like instrumental music like that. Like how
Yeah, no,
crazy
like
that'd
that.
be.
Like sometimes I just be like cruising in the car, like just listening to like some like movie soundtrack. I'm like,
Oh
this is
yeah,
fire. Like,
Yeah.
same dude.
Yeah,
I'll
like
be
How to
yeah,
out.
Train Your
Yeah.
Dragon, dude. Like How to Train Your
yes,
Dragon
Oh,
no,
Test Drive. Oh my
yeah,
God.
dude,
no, that's
bro, I
crazy. Good
the
pull, good
the
pull.
wedding I did a couple weekends ago, I DJ'd a wedding
Yeah.
and they walked down the aisle to that song, like
Oh,
the
that's
wedding party
awesome.
did. And so I played it. It was insane, bro. It
That's
was
Yeah,
insane.
I need to see that new one. I've heard it's because I love the animated one, but I need to see
Hmm.
the new one.
Same,
Well,
dude.
you low key look like the hair, like the way you got the hair looks like
Yeah.
Hiccup a little bit.
I don't get the voice though, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I
Dude,
can't
yeah,
I
who
can't even
knows?
like do an impression of his voice. His voice is so like distinct.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is interesting.
With AI and stuff, who knows, man? Maybe they'll be able to do a voice changer on you or something, and you
That's a
could,
good,
you
yeah, we
know,
can hop into
we
AI
can, we can
after.
talk about AI.
But
What are
we need to
you?
get overrated. No, we need to find the overrated movie first.
Okay, yeah. What's over in a movie
I'm
check?
I'm literally scrolling through my letterbox right now to try and find a movie that I have
Try to find
rated
the
really
worst rated.
really low. Yeah, well, like one I have rated really low that like shouldn't be. Um. Oh wait, that one's too like niche. Like there's this one called the just scroll past it, The Tragedy of Macbeth. It's a Coen Brothers movie. Not a lot of people saw it, but I did not like it at all. But that's I have ones that I'm like passionate about. I would say Star Wars: The Last Jedi is
Mm.
horrendous. It's absolutely terrible, and anybody
Wow.
who likes it is like insane. Like I genuinely think it's an awful movie. Oh,
Is that?
here's another good one that was really big whenever it came out was Saltburn. I did not like it then.
Mm,
Like
Oh yeah.
I
oh,
I remember I watched it and like we get to the ending. It's supposed to be like this big twist. Oh, he's like really trying to take over this. Spoiler alert, by the way. He's really trying to take over this like rich family. I'm like, yeah. Did you guys not know that? Like, I knew that like from the beginning. Like, what? Like,
yeah,
the
dude.
rest of this movie was just. It was. I mean, I get it being weird to like unsettle you, and that part worked. But like, it was so much. It thought it was so much smarter than it was, and I just was like, man, eh, I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, that's a good way to put the movie thought it was so much smarter than it was. Like, it's kind of a
Well, they probably thought that because they had that one guy, like the kissing booth
yeah.
guy or whoever it is.
Oh,
Right.
Jacob
Yeah.
Lordy. Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Oh
just
yeah.
like, all right, we can do whatever, you know.
It's an automatic dub, but
Yeah,
nah.
automatic.
I don't know if anybody really like liked that movie. It just went like viral, or I don't know.
I
Yeah.
I'm again I'm probably on different sides of the internet than you guys. Most like film people like really liked it and I was just
Really?
like this was not that special, not gonna lie.
Yeah. Hmm. I never saw it, so I don't know if I'm gonna watch it now. Actually,
I just saw the weird clips. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
some weird stuff in there, but those are good answers, dude. I am a huge Star Wars fan though, so it's like
Yo,
I don't
so
know. I
I
mean,
mean I have a Star Wars poster right here. Like I love
oh,
Star
sick,
Wars.
dude.
Bro,
Yeah.
I got my
But
helmet right here.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh, Sam, actually, hold up,
shit.
dude.
Dude, that's sick.
We gotta get you one of these, Jake.
Probably have an old like kids one up somewhere.
Yeah. Um. Okay. Well, I have another segment.
Uh,
If we can jump into that, I have a couple ideas that I want to pitch to you over movie, ideas, and I know that you like to just go with the flow when the ideas pop up, but these are a couple good ones that I just thought about before the podcast. The first one is so this guy gets a girlfriend, right, and like they're like in love, right, maybe for a summer, and she's like, hey, I really want all this stuff. Like when I'm older, like I want a house with like blue, notebook shutters on the windows and type stuff, right? But then she dies, okay? I don't know from what, maybe like a raccoon attack or something crazy. And then the guy finds a new girlfriend and he gets all of those things that the dead girl asked for, low key pretending it's the first girl. So it's like, you feel what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
he gets all this stuff for the new girl, right? And
Well,
I
wait,
don't know.
like, how hard is he pretending? Is this full, like
Like
psychopath,
creepo.
or is it just like a little in the back of the head, like pretend,
I don't
or
know. It could be like a
he
little in
like
the
starts
back of the
calling her
head.
the name and shit?
No, yeah, I don't know. We'd have to figure out what way we want to go with it, and I haven't thought about like a whole conflict and resolution yet.
Okay.
I haven't thought that far into it, but like it's a decent idea. I mean, I think it has maybe some potential.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that's definitely like it's a different genre than I've ever tackled, which is one thing I want to do is tackle all sorts of. No, I actually mean that the best way because the next I have like the film I have written out and then like an idea for the next one. and I want to make as like many different genres as I can. So like something
Yeah,
like deep like that would like a psychological kind of thing would be cool for sure.
dude. Yeah, man. Thanks,
Yeah.
man.
It's kind of like that one movie, psychological movie, the one with Harry Styles and
Oh,
like the 50s vibe.
oh,
Oh, I don't like that.
I
You
didn't
didn't?
either, dude. That one
No.
was overrated, bro.
Yeah,
No,
that
I
was
thought it
another
was a
over.
cool
Yes.
idea.
Yeah. Cool idea. Not a great execution. Yeah.
Yeah, could have been
No,
executed better.
I can't remember what it was called. Oh, don't worry, darling. Don't worry, darling.
Yep.
Yes, but it
Yep.
had you guessing, you know?
Yeah, I did kind of like seeing Harry Styles as an actor. It's kind of something different. Um, I mean, I thought that was interesting, but yeah, you're right. It is kind of like that vibe. Um,
Yeah.
Another one that I thought about. This would probably be like an action, like bad guy cop chase type thing. So a guy releases alligators in local swimming pools across the country, and the cops can't catch him. So he's like on the loose, right? And like little kids are getting eaten, all this stuff. You know what I mean? You like
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, I got you. Uh, it feels like some like cheesy thing. I think it could be like more of like a comedy or like a spoof movie, honestly. But I think it's kind of
Yeah,
funny. Um,
yeah.
I like how you're so specific. You're like alligators, and then like in the last one, you're like a raccoon attack. I'm like, he's definitely thought this out more than once.
Dude, no, bro. This is where I just came up with this. I don't know. I think if I spent some more time on the drawing board, I could probably like
Yeah,
produce some better ideas. But
yeah,
I don't know. It's fun to think of them.
Yeah.
yeah,
I feel like that's kind of similar to the new Dangerous Animals movie that's coming out. I
Mm,
guess it's actually not that similar at all.
kind of a
Like the
similar
Dangerous
vibe,
Animals
though.
one is
I mean, you're working with alligators; they're pretty dangerous. Real quick, I'd like to talk about something awesome. True Classics. True Classics is a t-shirt company, but they sell more than just t-shirts. They have button-downs, crew necks, jeans, and even more. And their t-shirts are not just t-shirts. In fact, you could call them T-rific shirts because they are so nice and they fit really nice. If you've got a dad bod, gym bod, or an I Just Love Snacks bod, True Classics make you look like you did at least one push-up this year. So go click on the link in the This Dude Started Something Instagram bio for 10% off whatever you want from trueclassictees.com. I know you're in a frat. You could talk about the frat life a little bit too.
yeah. I actually would say I've done actually a lot of like video work for them. Like they haven't had somebody like that. Like I released like a little Rush video like last week, and it's
Mm.
just all like year. I would just any event we had, I just show up with my camera and like
Yeah.
just get some cool stuff. One of my friends found like a VHS camera in his basement at home and brought it, and he'd bring it to parties and just like walk around with it, or just like give it to someone for the night, and then like we'd get it back and like we have all this VHS footage and like um just stuff like that. Again, it's another aspect of like I'm kind of having to do like advertisement through video stuff, which is like
mhm.
I realize is if you become successful at that, it's a very good skill to have. Um, because both the content I've made for my fraternity and for the band I worked for, uh and I'm about to shoot some like video promotional video for like a soccer club here in Lee Summit. So
Oh, sick,
yeah,
dude.
it's all just like it's very much just like you gotta sell a product, you gotta do stuff like that. So
Yeah.
Dang, dude. Yeah. And after you like create your name, right? Like, and produce a couple big movies, those companies will be like glad they hired you because then it'll be even more valuable.
yeah,
Like those commercials. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
Your
I
face
mean,
will be
it's
put up on the
definitely
frat wall.
that's the goal. Actually, we don't have a famous alumni. Our Pi Kappa Phi does not have like you'll see those TikToks of like oh, blah blah blah's famous alumni, Brad
Yeah.
Pitt, and you're like, oh shit, like that's pretty cool. But we don't
Yeah.
have. I'm sure we have like some successful people. We don't have any like actual like celebrities. So we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I know it's like definitely a long goal is to like end up making movies. But I think a lot of people ask me like, are you like actually gonna like have a job at a college? And I'm like, dude, think of like any company that you know, they all need a video team. Anybody that needs advertisement or
Yep.
editing or marketing or just
Yeah.
random little stuff. Like they all need some sort of video production. And
Hmm.
so like that's not the part I'm worried about. I just want to eventually have like obviously I'm gonna have to keep making stuff on my own and self-funding things
Hmm.
until I get into these bigger festivals and stuff like that. But
Right.
hopefully I can get enough stuff on my resume now while I still have free actors and free equipment with my school. And
Oh yeah.
that's
Yeah.
that's better than my own equipment, obviously, because my own equipment is solid, but it can only go so far. But
Mm.
again, I'm trying to take advantage of is the free acting, the free crew, the free help, the free equipment,
Yeah.
and the free marketing that like college provides. So that's kind of my goal for these next like I mean 3 years now because I just finished my first year.
Mm.
Good goal.
That's a good goal, dude. We mentioned AI earlier. Are you like nervous that AI is gonna like take your future movies?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely am. I think the whole I've if any class I have to write a paper on actually, or like about like a real world moment or like stuff like that. I always write it about the whole AI and Hollywood strike thing because I was like really invested into that because it
Mm.
was, it was a lot of different things that they were dealing with, issues. But AI was one of the big ones. It's whenever it just came out, and they wanted to ensure like job safety for like a lot of these people. I think that like people will always watch like something that someone made over like something that someone told a computer to make. Um,
Yeah.
I think that's why I mean, film is an art, so and art's been around for like since the beginning of whatever. So
Yeah.
I'm not doubtful about that. I'm doubtful about how many smaller jobs will like I'm more concerned about how many like smaller jobs will be affected by it. If that
Hmm.
makes sense. Yeah.
Like the little intro video for like a college or like the
Yeah, yeah,
um
exactly. Or like someone made, or like the difference between telling an AI to make this quick little graphic or hiring someone to make a
Mhm.
graphic. But ultimately, I think it's the right idea to hire someone because they have more. I don't know. I obviously money wise, it's not always the smartest, but I'm always gonna stand by like, you know, actual people making actual things. So,
for sure. Yeah. And I think most of society will probably
mhm.
like the more authentic stuff, you know.
Yeah,
Although I do
yeah, for
think
sure.
like the first AI movie, like whenever that comes out, whenever it's this year, next year, whenever, I feel like that one's gonna be popular. Like everyone's gonna
Dude.
want to see it, and then after that, they're
Yeah,
probably gonna like if it's shit, we're gonna be like, all right,
Yeah.
yeah, no, I definitely think it will be shit. I think AI has its time and place. Like you see those TikToks what people make with AI, like the funny like the Yetis,
Yeah.
bro.
oh,
Like
it's
they
Yeah,
get
so
the
Yetis,
funny.
bro.
TikTok Yetis,
Dude.
bro. Like those are so funny. And I'm like, yeah, but like that's way different for me than like actually like telling a compelling story. It's more just like trying to get a laugh. And I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I ultimately can't do a whole lot about it except get better at what I know how to do. So
Yeah.
that's that's kinda all I got on that. I
Well,
don't really know
do
what
you
else
use
it's
ChatGPT for writing purposes or editing?
I I don't use any form of AI for stuff like that. I've
Okay.
Mm.
used it to, like I think for my screenwriting class, like, one time I had to write, like, a four-page script or something. I was just totally blanking on stories, and I had the prompt that we had, and it helped me, like, kinda develop the story a little more, but I haven't
Right.
used it for any actual, like, writing, if that
Right.
makes
Yeah.
sense.
That makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah. And for anybody listening, the TikTok Yetis, they're like two, like Bigfoots essentially,
Yeah.
or like snow Yetis that can talk or whatever because like AI made them do it. So it's pretty crazy. It looks legit. I will say, I don't know, like CGI. We've gotten a little bit of that. You know what I mean?
Dude, if
You know
we
what I mean?
showed that to our parents, they would be like, "Oh my god, what is that?" You know?
Well, they
Really? I
probably
don't
like,
know.
some
But I like Planet of the
oh,
Apes, man.
I know, I that's what I'm bro, just like just like scroll on Facebook for like 5 minutes, bro, and find the first like clearly AI video that comes up and look at like the comments and people think it's
Exactly.
real. Like it's yeah, like it's crazy.
It's so generational because like we can
Yeah.
see a video
Yeah.
and instantly we're like, okay, like come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like if the AI made a realistic video, like it is sometimes hard to tell
Yeah.
if it's fake or
Yeah,
not.
no, there's some I've seen that it's like you can tell, but I just really don't see I don't know. I think like it's one of the reasons why Christopher Nolan's one of my favorite filmmakers is he doesn't use green screens. Like I think stuff like that's really
Oh, really?
cool.
Wow.
Oh, Oppenheimer had zero CGI. Zero.
How did they do it? Did they?
They obviously they have visual effects like
Mhm.
stuff like that, but it was all done in camera. Like, if that makes sense, like the
Yeah,
explosion, it was probably like a miniature or stuff like that, which has been
right.
used since whatever. But like I remember, like if you remember the scene where he's like dreaming, there's like the sparks like flying and all that and stuff like that.
Well, I've never seen it. I need to see it.
What? Dude,
Yeah, I know. I
that's
need to see
crazy.
I
That's
got
actually crazy.
bored like 30 minutes in. It's a
All
long
right,
one.
that's crazy. Yeah, I saw it in 70 millimeter film in Olathe, and and then I watched Barbie
it.
right afterwards. It was
Wait,
awesome.
what is what
That's
you
like a
like Barbie
six
too?
hour damn.
Yeah.
Do you like the Barbie movie?
Yeah, no, I thought it was really funny. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I like Ryan Gosling.
Well, I mean, I did the I'm Just Kidding performance. That
True.
whole
Yeah, yeah,
thing.
facts. That's true, Mr. Bronco. You said a couple things that caught my attention. 70 millimeter. What does that mean? 70 millimeter film.
So he shot it on like I think 70 millimeter is the equivalent to like 20 something K. So like you have like a 4K TV, it's
Uh huh.
equivalent to like 20K or something like that. Like that's how crystal clear the image is because
Oh wow.
it's not shot on digital like a lot of movies are shot on digital cameras, but Christopher Nolan shoots on actual film reel.
Wow,
Um,
really?
and 70 millimeter is to get that clear image, it has to be like big. Like it's not like your average size film reel, it's big. And
Uh
so
huh.
like only a handful of theaters around the country have 70 millimeter film projectors because of how like rare it is. But I think
My bad. I did not mean to put out the
but I
happy
think
birthday balloons.
I think Oppenheimer and just recently Sinners and like I think there was another Nolan movie that was shot on 70 millimeter. It's just random movie. It's usually like very like uh accomplished directors that shoot on it, but it's just
Yeah,
it's dorky. You wouldn't like honestly, it wasn't the biggest difference ever, but like it was just cool to think that they actually have this like mile long reel of film in the back that's
that is
playing this
crazy,
movie.
huh?
Like
How do they convert it to like the regular size that other theaters can play? Like, do they have
they don't.
two?
That's the thing is they have to have a 70 millimeter film projector. So like they
Oh,
have this
really?
like they have I forget how long because it's a 3 hour movie. I forget how long in distance the film reel for Oppenheimer is, but it's ridiculous. Like I think it weighed like an insane amount, dude. Like it was nuts. So like they have an actual projector like with film rolling through it whenever I went to go see it, which is really cool.
That's so crazy. How did they? I don't even know anything about that. Like, how do they convert it to like
Yeah.
a disc or like
We'll look
put
at
it on
a
streaming?
MOV file.
I don't know, dude. That's magic. I don't know. I can't like I could probably do it, but I couldn't explain how it's done. Like I don't know.
Mhm.
You know?
We should do like maybe a separate episode, Oliver. We could do a little deep dive on that, and then Jake, we could have you back and we could like
For
talk
sure.
about it because that is very
Yeah.
interesting, like all that stuff. What other movie facts do you know, dude? Like you dropped the Oppenheimer fact. Like what other facts do you know?
I'm just like trying to look at the movies on my walls right now, actually. Um,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like something cool. I know that um and another Christopher Nolan, I had the Dark Knight trilogy up on my wall right there. And
Uh-huh.
like all
Classic.
the stunts and effects and that are all real. Like where they flip the plane and they're robbing the plane out of midair.
Is that yeah?
Like that's real.
Wait, which movie is this?
The Dark Knight Rises actually
Oh
was that
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah,
whenever
yeah.
yeah, that's like real. Like they actually had a plane like flipped over like that and people coming through it like all shot on
What?
real camera. Yeah, because he literally like refuses to use CGI if he doesn't have to.
Dang, that's crazy, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's insane, man. That reminds me of the Mission Impossible, the
Yeah.
Final Reckoning, the new plane scene. How do you like that series, Mission Impossible?
I'm mixed on it. I'm more of a James Bond spy movie guy than Mission Impossible personally.
Mm,
But I
really?
Mission Impossible Fallout was is probably my favorite one. That one was really good. I haven't seen
Yeah.
the any of the Dead Reckoning or Final Reckoning, but I've seen the rest of the series and it's decent. I like the practical effects a lot though. The stunts are really cool.
Yeah, because Tom Cruise does all of his own stunts. It's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
It's,
nuts.
but that's pretty cool. I do like the fact that there's no CGI. It keeps it like entertaining and like it's cool knowing in the back of your head that it's all like real.
Yeah, yeah. No, and I think even if you didn't know that, like just like subconsciously, it's like you wouldn't have like I don't know in some scenes where there's CGI, like you could like your mind's kind of like, is this real or not? But I feel like you watch those scenes and there's kind of like you never actually have that thought, which I think is cool. I think it's always cool to go out and do like or like film on location, even just that. Like, just
Hmm.
why are we filming on a green to put like a city behind us? Maybe we can just like go to the city, you know? Like I think it's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think it's probably a lot of money to like tape off a street or whatever and use it in a
Yeah,
legit
permitting. Yeah.
Oh, no, for sure, but, like, it's just fun, you know? Like,
for sure? Yeah.
it'll buff, you know?
What is that? It'll
Plus,
buff. What is that?
You
Is
don't
that
oh,
France?
you don't know it'll I figured you'd be on top of that slang. Like, it'll buff, like, you know, like in a video game, whenever, like, a gun is, like, broken or something, they'll, like, buff it or, like, nerf it to, like,
Oh,
fix it.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, like, it'll
Okay.
buff, you know?
Huh. We were just talking about some new slang. We just came up with the word
tardy, bro.
tardy, bro. That's so tardy, bro.
That's already a
So
word, like, you're late.
No, I know, but we're gonna make it something cool,
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Yeah, yeah.
or like we're gonna switch it up.
fire, like fire was a word too, you know?
It
Yeah.
was, yeah, it was just
I
fire,
still
bro.
use fire. You guys not use fire? Like, what?
No, I
No,
use
no,
fire.
yeah, I use fire or epic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard some other slang. Oh yeah, it was kind of inappropriate though. I'm probably not gonna say that, but
Yeah, that's pretty good.
we got a new segment here. It's movie lines. Okay, so I'm gonna name a line. I'm gonna say it, and you're gonna name the movie. Okay. All right, let's get a good. Let's get a good one here. You're gonna know this one. You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
The Dark Knight.
Yeah, that's like I am Groot.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
These are too easy, bro. Um,
No, no, no. He probably won't get like the. Okay, I'll do
the
this
next one.
one.
Yeah, you do this one.
She doesn't even go here,
Oh my God, I can hear it in my head, but
right?
what? You're gonna say it, and I'm gonna know what it is. What
It's
is
a
it?
stomper.
It's Mean Girls,
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
classic.
What about You'll Float too?
It.
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
What about I'm the king of the world or I'm king of the world?
Titanic.
Yeah. Well,
I'm fumbled
you
on the Mean
passed.
Girls, but that's pretty good. Like 80% there, 90%.
Yeah, that's pretty solid, man. Movie whiz, dude. Oh, I wanted to get your opinion on the Sinners movie. Did you like that movie?
Oh, I thought it was amazing. I went to
Yeah.
go see it. I like a week after it came out. Me and a few of my friends, we had heard people rave about it, and I was like, we
Yeah.
need to go see this. So I was down in Springfield at the time, but we went to the theater there. And oh my God, like I think we had the soundtrack for that movie on loop for like 2 weeks. Like it's so good. I need to watch it. It comes out on Max on July 4th. So I'm gonna
Wow.
go watch it again once it comes out on Max. But it was really good.
Dude, yeah. It was I thought it was the effects were interesting. Like
Mhm.
the blood kind of looked like Kool-Aid or like it
Yeah.
looked like VA juice, honestly.
Yeah, there was like a kind of a like camp aspect to it. Like it's kind of campy. Like it was kind of like the violence was like kind of over the top. But for me, I thought it fit. I don't know. Like
Yeah, no, I
I
thought it
thought,
was yeah.
yeah, yeah. I and the whole the scene in that movie where it's like the dream sequence, and you know it's like the all the eras of music like coming together.
Mhm.
That
Mhm.
sequence was
That was
insane.
crazy.
Yeah.
That was that I did think that was super impressive and like very
Yeah.
well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. And it was like it made you feel just a certain way, like kind of
Oh, yeah.
uncomfortable, but also it's like you can't really look away, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I thought it definitely was one of my favorite horror movies because I felt like it had a deeper meaning behind it, and deeper meanings is one of those things. It's like, do you find yourself watching movies and then sitting there for a while thinking about it? Like, what is the deeper meaning behind it?
Yeah, no, for sure. I think it like that's why I think some of my favorite directors is like someone like Nolan or like a David Fincher or Denis Villeneuve. Like I like movies that make you like think a lot and like
Yeah.
or you have to kind of dissect. I just recently watched Mulholland Drive, which is like a David Lynch film. It's pretty like you have to it's not like a very like consumer friendly film, if that makes sense. Like it's not a very like mainstream film. That's the word I'm
Hmm.
looking for. But
Gotcha.
it's like it's kind of one of those like modern classics from like that wasn't huge, but like it's kind of garnered a pretty amazing reputation. But it I literally was up like all night watching videos on it. Like as soon as like the ending happened, everything in my mind clicked. Because the whole movie, I'm like, what the hell is going on? And then
Yeah.
the ending clicked, and I'm like, yeah, that was amazing. And I'm watching videos on it and all that. Like I've done that for years. So I
Yeah.
love movies like that.
I just watched Us last night, and you're gonna hate me for this. I watched it for the first time. Um, and I was trying to figure out like what do you is there a deeper meaning to that movie? I know that Jordan Peele always has like
Yeah.
some crazy things.
Us is my least favorite Jordan Peele movie, like by a good amount, actually.
Yeah.
I think it's good, but I kind of watched it once and I kind of haven't felt the need to like go back and rewatch it like Get Out or Nope, which I love those two.
Nope.
Um
Just watched that too recently. It
oh
was
it's
pretty crazy.
I love Nope and I think that one actually was more of like I didn't think there was much of a deeper meaning to it after I left, but then I've seen so many other like opinions and uh just like reactions on it and I was like I didn't even think of that and I've rewatched it since then and I've seen all those little
Yeah.
things. I'm like it's cool. But
Yeah.
I'm not really sure. He's definitely saying stuff in that movie. I honestly haven't seen it and since probably it came out, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. He's an interesting director, dude. Like he definitely has mastered the whole like making people like uncomfortable type thing. Or just like
Yeah.
I don't even know. It's just so interesting. He has very long scenes too. I've noticed that as well.
Mhm.
Like a lot of the continuous scenes, you know, and you don't.
Yeah.
I feel like you don't see that often anymore because people's attention spans suck.
Yeah. No, I know.
So how do
Yeah.
you deal with that, like as a movie director?
I say I would say like I'm gonna kind of worry about how I want to make it first, and then like if people don't want to pay attention to it, I don't think it's like I should be like catering towards a certain audience, if that makes sense. You know, like
Yeah,
obviously for something like an advertisement or I'm trying to sell a product or something like that, if I have to make a short video, I think I should be doing that. But like if it's just like a film that I'm making. I want to make it however I see it or want it in my head.
yeah,
Like I think but the party scene that we had the 3 minute long single take with no cuts, and it was
yeah,
like it went from outside with Carson pulling up on the motorcycle and meeting up with you and the douche squad and
yeah.
like
Gang, gang.
walking walking into the house and we had the hidden cut and then through the main floor and then down the basement there's another hidden cut but it's all supposed to be this like one scene that's supposed to like immerse you into like this crazy lit function bro but
Yeah,
like I think it's like every way to edit a scene is like intentional. So I think I don't discredit people who edit scenes like quickly because they definitely have their purpose doing it. So
yeah, dude. Honestly, that's a good way to close it out and like going back to your movie and stuff. And I really love everything you're doing. And I can't wait to see what you do, man, in the future with more movies. We're definitely gonna have to get you back on the podcast to update us on like your next project and stuff. And
yeah,
I'm super
yeah.
excited. If you need anything else from me, dude, let me know. You should shout out your socials real quick so people can go follow
Yeah.
you.
It's just search up Jake Apgar Productions on Instagram, TikTok, uh IMDb, Letterboxd, YouTube is where all my films are. Um I'm pretty lucky to have a distinct name. So like not
Yeah.
competing with like another Jake Apgar. So yeah, that's where
Yeah.
you can find all my stuff. And I have like two projects planned out to do here pretty soon. So
Nice, dude.
more
Awesome.
to come. Yeah.
Yeah, that's sick, dude. I guess I should ask if you have anything else to say, like to the fans.
Yeah, I would just say go give something a watch and leave a comment or something. Just tell me how you liked it or didn't like it, or you
Hmm.
watched it for 5 minutes. That's just something I like hearing from people, from all different kinds of people on my work. I think that's the best part of making things, is hearing how different people react to it. And so
Yeah.
if you guys end up watching any of my stuff, just shoot me a DM. Let me know. Like, let me know what you thought. Let me know you watched it. That's always my favorite part. I've gotten random DMs from like maybe another guy on YouTube who makes short films, and I'm like, he like, I watched a short film, and he has all this to say about it. It's always my favorite part of making
Yeah.
projects.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, I had somebody come up to me the other day. It was like, "Yo, were you in Jake's movie? Are you the guy from Jake's movie?"
Dude, whenever I first got to college, that's like, because nobody remembers names whenever you first get to college. And
Hmm.
so I was just like the movie guy. And so like everywhere I'm at is like, or like actors at the acting school, like you post on Most State 29 and they see you're a film major and they're like, oh, I'm gonna follow him because you're a film major. And then like
Yeah.
they see me and like, wait, you're the film guy. Like that's
Yeah.
kind of, it's pretty funny actually.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah. The movie guy's a tough nickname too.
Yeah.
That's gonna, dude. That's gonna be your biopic. Is that what it's called? Your
The
movie
movie
about
Yeah.
you.
guy,
Yeah.
the movie
Exactly.
guy. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's so tough, bro. I can't wait to see it, man.
Wait, hold up though. Like the whole point of like this dude started something is like helping people, start something. And
Yeah.
so actually just like really quickly, it can even be like a one liner, just advice for people that want to create their own films.
Just make it. I, if it's unreasonable, if you have like no budget, if you have a scene that you're like, how the hell am I gonna do? To literally just like shut up and just make it. Like, because that's like, as soon as I like thought like that, I feel
Hmm.
like I've grown so much as a creator, and that's the biggest thing holding people back, is
Yeah.
like all these internal thoughts. Like, just make it, even if it's terrible, you still learn something. Just make it.
I like
Yeah,
that.
dude. Well, dude, that's kind of what we're about, man. That's honestly a good way to
Yeah.
end it.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Thank you everybody for listening. That was Jake Apgar, super inspiring guy, super creative, and we'll talk to you guys next time.